Good morning. Yes, lots going on here. We got the shooting in Vegas, but also the NFL protests that were going on over the weekend again. Sort of a lighter day than we saw a week ago, McGraw.
Yeah, it seemed like, and we'll get to the high schools here in a second, but it seemed like yesterday a lot of the players were arm in arm as opposed to taking a knee.
Exactly, yeah. And last week we saw the Dallas Cowboys, for example, and I'm most familiar with that one because they sort of reached a compromise, I suppose. They knelt down arm in arm before the national anthem was played, and then when the anthem was being played, the players and their owner, Jerry Jones, stood up at attention, also locked arm in arm. They seemed to be kind of a compromise they tried to reach yesterday. However, as they were up against the Rams, they simply stood at attention. There was no protest at all from them. But other places around the league, there were some players who did, in fact, continue on with these sideline protests, raising their fists or, in some cases, kneeling.
Yeah. Now, Jim, you were also covering the fact that there are some high schools and some high school players who are doing this as well. What's that story?
There are. And in fact, that's been going on for about a year in high schools around the country, not just in Texas, but elsewhere too. And some of these students now are facing the wrath of their school principals or administrators at a Christian school here in Texas. The principal made clear, the coach as well, so that any student who did this, who carried out this kind of protest, would be suspended, wouldn't be able to play in the game. And they lived up to that yesterday, that policy regarding sideline protests. There is a youth football league in South Texas, down by Houston, that actually has decided not to play the national anthem at all. They're trying to avoid the controversy by doing that, and of course, sparking new controversies by taking that step.
A private school, I guess, can do anything they want, but public schools have to be very careful about this, right?
Sure, you're right. It's a different matter, and different policies can go into effect. It's considered a sort of a private entity. It's not a taxpayer-supported body and not run by a school board, and so it's a different matter. But and that kind of blurs the lines out in the public schools where you do have kids who are doing this at some high schools and have been ever since Colin Kaepernick did it the first time.
There you go. Jim Ryan, ABC News correspondent in Dallas. Jim, thanks for your time.